What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and once again, we're bringing you another little top 5 list. I'm really liking the feedback we're getting and all the different opinions of, for example, we did the last 5 best transfers of the 2010s. So now we're just going to flip it a little bit, and we're going to bring to you guys the 5 worst transfers of the 2010s for Borussia Dortmund. And as much as we like to talk up a lot of the transfer business that Dortmund does, because they have done some fantastic things, there's also been a few that was a swing and a miss. And I'm gonna just put a list together who I remember watching and being like, why did we sign them, or either the excitement and then the disappointment of it. But the same as the 5 best signings, we're gonna take a look at a little bit of criteria beforehand. And what I'm looking at is obviously what we paid for them, their performances on the pitch. Did they do anything to bring any type of silverware or anything home, any good stats that they may have had, and obviously what did we sell them for, what did we lose them for. So taking a look at the top 5 list here, we're gonna start off with Julian Schieber. And Klopp brought in a lot of great strikers and great players, but Schieber was always one who was just on the outs. He never really got in, he didn't give really any impact, and he was just there. He was just there to bring off the bench and not really do much. He didn't have obviously a good goal return, and he ended up moving on, and I don't think a lot of players and fans really cared too much that he was gone. It was just never quite a fit for him. He was more of a mid-table type of striker, and Dortmund was just a little out of his range and was there for a couple years and moved on. So there's not much to say about Schieber. He didn't leave a long-lasting remark really on anything to do with the team, and that's why I got him in the list at number 5. Didn't pay a crazy amount for him, but it just wasn't a fit. Taking a look at the 4th spot on the list, we're taking a look at Emre Mor, and I was debating with him and a couple other players, and the reason I just snuck him into the list was because the excitement. He was supposed to be the next best thing. He had so much skill set. He had everything he needed to be a player that everyone thought was going to shine when he came to Dortmund, and he didn't. He took on defenders a lot, which is something that he was obviously good at, but if it didn't work, he lost the ball, and he ended up tracking back a lot more than he obviously needed to, and that wasn't his kind of skill set. And the reason I wasn't going to put him on the list is because we actually made a little bit of profit off of him, but I think just the what we expected from this player and just how much excitement that there was, and everyone thought he was going to be just the next big thing, and just a big fail, and it was just crazy that we ended up making profit on him, because we really shouldn't. He didn't do anything in that year to be able to prove to anyone that he was worth more than what we paid. So that's why I put him on the list. It's just because of the disappointment, and there was just too much excitement for him and just didn't live up to it at all. And now he's trying to still a young age, trying to find his way again, and it just kind of looked like what could have been. And these are the 3 big ones on the list. And looking at the 3rd person on the list, I put Ciro Immobile. And we obviously lost Mr. Robert Lewandowski, so trying to replace him was tough. And it's funny that we replaced him with someone who just tied Higuain's record for the most goals for the Italian league, and that's Immobile. We got him from Torino for about 20 million, and he looked, after winning the Golden Boot over there, and looked like the kind of player that we needed, who would come in, and it just, for some reason, and I'm sure he's wondered to this day what happened, because that was obviously the season we finished in 7th. We were flirting with relegation at one point in that season, and he just could not find the back of the net. It was just a tough, frustrating year for him. He obviously moved on, had a couple loan spells, ended up back in Italy where he's lighting it up with Lazio, and good on him. I always liked Immobile. I was pretty disappointed that it didn't quite work out for him, but it didn't. He couldn't match with the players that we had, and Aubameyang just kind of said, all right, well, if you're not going to do it, I am, and he was turned into the striker that we know now. So for me, that was just a big miss, because it was something that I was excited for. I thought he was exactly the type of striker we needed to replace Lewandowski, and clearly wasn't the case. Taking a look at number 2 on the list is Yarmolenko. And Yarmolenko was another one, kind of like the Emre Mor situation, where he was coming in to replace Dembele. There was a lot of hype around him. He was ripping up the Ukrainian league. We paid 27 million for him, which in my opinion, I thought was going to be a fantastic deal. And again, like Immobile, just wasn't there. He just, it didn't mesh with the team. he had a beautiful goal against Tottenham. I think that's what most fans from Dortmund will remember from him, because other than that, he was just almost useless on the pitch. He didn't bring whatever got him to earn the move over for Dynamo Kiev, and we cut our losses and moved him on over to West Ham, where I think he's still trying to find himself. He's had a couple good showing because there's a lot of skill in the player, but being able to find it, doing it consistently night in, night out was just something that he wasn't able to bring at Dortmund. He's really still not even bringing at West Ham. So that's why, for me, 27 million on him, he was up there. But unfortunately for Mr. Andre Schurrle, no one can really top him. He was our record signing at one point for 30 million. He had some great showings for Chelsea and Wolfsburg, which got him the move. But between injuries and just his form disappearing, and he just couldn't replicate that exciting player that obviously helped demolish Brazil and bring Germany a World Cup. And it was sad. I remember the one game I like Schurrle, and I feel bad that he obviously is now 29 years old and retired after spending a season in Russia, and Dortmund and him mutually agreed to terminate their contract, and with that brought an early retirement. But I remember how exciting I was for the one game when Mario Götze, Schurrle, and Marco Reus lined up in the 4-2-3-1 formation. Reus was on the right, Schurrle was on the left, and Götze was through the middle. And they're three really good friends, and they ended up winning that game. And I believe they all scored, and it was a really nice moment for all of them. But that was about one of the only nice moments I can remember from Schurrle, because it was just a lot of money on a player who didn't bring anything, unfortunately, to the team. And like I said, now he had to get big wages, a lot of money on him, and it ended up being a mutual agreement to terminate it. So it was sad, but that was it. That's my list of the 5 worst transfers that Borussia Dortmund made in the 2010s. I know you guys have your own opinion. There's a few honorable mentions, like Kevin Campbell, who was another one who kind of a swing and a miss, but it's up to you guys. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree with my list? Do you not? Who do you think I left out that maybe deserves to be in there for their underperformance for Borussia Dortmund? So with that, guys, brings an end to the episode. Be sure to like, subscribe if you guys are new, and we'll see you next time.